Yeah, cheers. It's Premier League prediction time. The season starts in 2 days' time. I think it's Liverpool versus Bournemouth on Friday night. We've already had the Championship, League 1, League 2. The last league in English football to start playing is the Premier League. I'm going to be going through all of the 20 teams. I'm going to start at the bottom and make my way to the top. So let's not mess about here. In 20th place, I have Burnley. Obviously, 100 points last season, finished second only by goal difference because of Leeds United, who were absolutely insane as well. Two teams that were Centurions last season in the Championship. But Burnley, I mean, it's probably one of the easiest picks of the lot. I mean, I don't have a hell of a lot of confidence in Scott Parker. Transfer window, they've lost CJ Egan-Riley to Marseille, I think it was, who was one of their best centre-backs last season. They've signed Kyle Walker. I mean, I know he's not what he used to be, but he doesn't just lose footballing ability as soon as he goes to Burnley. Kyle Walker, they've got Brozier from Chelsea, they've got Ugochukwu from Chelsea, two good signings, but they've lost Josh Brownhill. I think got 18 goals last season in the Championship from midfield for Burnley. They've lost him on a free, so I don't see much going for Burnley. I mean, the gap between them and, say, Wolves is quite big, so I've got them in 20th place. In 19th place, it's going to be a bit of a shock. It's Brentford. I mean, they've lost Thomas Frank, they've lost Norgard, they've lost Mbuemo. They could be losing Wissa. They're losing a hell of a lot of people, especially Thomas Frank. I mean, they've appointed Keith Andrews, who was the set piece coach. I know it's a harsh pick, but I think they've lost so many players that I just don't see that they can keep the momentum that they were on. I mean, the whole club was run by Thomas Frank. They have a very strange, well, not a strange way, they have a very different way of doing things at Brentford, and it's a good way. It's a very good way, the way they do things, and I think it's admirable. But I think they've had their time in the Prem now. I think it's over for Brentford. I don't think they've got as much quality. I mean, Wissa, he's either going to Newcastle or Nottingham Forest. It's probably Newcastle. I just don't see a lot happening for Brentford, so I think they're going down. They're in 19th place. In 18th place, it's the second of the newly promoted sides. It's Leeds United. And with Leeds, it's very easy to just look at the badge and say, oh, mid-table because it's Leeds and all of that. I mean, their transfer business, they've done well. They've got that, is it Bornell from Wolfsburg? But they've lost Junior Firpo. I mean, they've got Piru, they've got Dan James, they've got Ramazani. But the main thing, the main factor of it, of them getting relegated, also I think anyway, is Daniel Farke. Twice in the Premier League, he's finished last twice. I mean, albeit with a Norwich squad. But I don't know. I don't have a lot of confidence in Daniel Farke. I don't think anybody does who's done the Premier League predictions so far. He doesn't have the greatest record in the Premier League. Leeds, they have a very decent team. They were the best team in the Championship, although the points difference between them and Burnley was literally nothing. I think Leeds were miles better than Burnley last season. But they're not going to finish last. They're not going to finish 19th. I think it will be close towards the final day, to be honest. But I've got Leeds in 18th place. In 17th place and just staying up is the final newly promoted side, Sunderland. I mean, their business has been absolutely unreal. They've got Ronaldo. They've got Granit Xhaka. They've signed Simon Adingra. Mayenda's got a new contract. They've just signed someone from Getafe, a left back. Their business has been absolutely unreal. Mark Guehi from Chelsea as well, top scorer in the Conference League last season. Yeah, I think Sunderland have got a real chance. I mean, Reggie Labrie, he's a really good manager, and everyone's talking about the points gap between Sunderland and, say, Leeds and Burnley. Look at the signings they've made. They've made unreal signings. And I think Granit Xhaka, oh my God, what a signing. To take him from Leverkusen. I know he's getting on a bit, but he's an unreal footballer, and he's proved it at Arsenal in his final years. He's proved it at Leverkusen winning the league. Now he's at Sunderland. I don't see Sunderland, they'll be in trouble. I wouldn't be surprised to see them in the relegation zone, but I think they will pull away, and I think they will, maybe even on the final day, stay up. I've got Sunderland in 17th place. In 16th place, got Wolverhampton Wanderers. Their squad is really, really good. I mean, they've got Jorgen Strand Larsen on a permanent now, and as funny as this is, they've just signed Wolfie. They've got Manetzi. They've got some real class players, and the gap between, say, Sunderland, Leeds, Brentford and Burnley is massive. I mean, Wolves could finish anywhere between 16th, where I've got them, and say 12th. It's a bit unpredictable between the mid-table. It's just a bit of a guessing game. But Wolves got a really decent team. I don't think they'll be in any trouble at all. They're in 16th. In 15th place, I've got West Ham United. They've signed Diouf from Lyon, is it? It's one of the French teams. They've got Diouf, Kyle Walker-Peters and Callum Wilson. That is just a West Ham signing, isn't it? It's such a West Ham signing, Callum Wilson is. I mean, he's decent, but I mean, you've seen what he was like at Newcastle in his early years at that club. He was really, really good. But age has kind of caught up to him. But yeah, Kyle Walker-Peters, Callum Wilson. West Ham have also signed Mats Hermansson from Leicester City for £20 million. He was a really, really good keeper last year. And I mean, you look at Liam Delap. He got relegated with Ipswich. He's now at Chelsea. Hermansson, relegated with Leicester. He's now at West Ham. And I think he's a really, really good goalkeeper. He's made for the Premier League, I believe. He was really, really good last season for Leicester in a side that had nothing going for them. Callum Wilson, Kyle Walker-Peters, Malik Diouf. They've got Tadibo on a permanent. I think West Ham will be more than comfortable. They've got Lucas Paqueta. He's just got over that FA hearing and everything. So I've got West Ham United in 15th place. In 14th place, and it may come as a shock, I've got Bournemouth. I mean, they've had their whole defence stripped. I mean, Kepa's gone to Arsenal. Sabani's just signed for PSG. He's a really good centre-back. Dean Huijsen, he's just signed for Real Madrid. Milos Kerkez, he's gone to Liverpool. I mean, they've just signed Diakite from, is it Lille? And he's a really, really good signing, but he's nothing on the level of Huijsen or Zabani, and their whole defence has been stripped. They've got Evan Nilsson, they've got Cliver, they've still got Ouattara, they've got Sinistera, Tyler Adams. They've got a good side, but I think it's going to be a bit of a drop-off. I mean, I know pre-season doesn't really mean anything, but watching them play Manchester United in pre-season and they got beat, I think it was 3-0, they don't look as strong at the back. So for that reason, I think Bournemouth are going to have a bit of a fall-off. They're still respectable, but I've got them in 14th place. In 13th place, I've got the FA Cup winners and the FA Community Shield winners. Now, with Crystal Palace, I didn't know whether to put them 13th or whether to put them 7th or 6th. I mean, Oliver Glasner, unreal manager, and to beat Manchester City in the FA Cup final, Liverpool in the Community Shield, he's done absolutely amazing. They didn't have a trophy, I think, in their whole entire history, and then since May they've had 2. Crystal Palace are an amazing team, but we're not anywhere near the end of the transfer window yet, and I think they could lose Mark Gahey to Liverpool, maybe even Newcastle. I mean, nobody wants to go to Newcastle at the moment, do they? They could lose him. And Eze, he's got a £68 million release clause that goes out on Friday. Tottenham or Arsenal are the 2 teams that are in for him. I'm sure there'll be way more towards the end of the transfer window if Arsenal or Tottenham don't activate the release clause. I mean, £68 million, it's a large chunk of it is all in one block and the rest is in instalments. The teams might think they can get a better deal for him, but I think Eze's on his way out. As much as the Palace fans love him, he's an absolute hero for Crystal Palace after getting that winning goal in the FA Cup final. I mean, I think the only reason I've got them so low down in 13th is because I think Gahey's leaving and Eze's leaving. So, Crystal Palace are in 13th place for me. In 12th, fairly standard pick, not much to say on them. It's Fulham. They've not done too much business. They haven't had really any outgoings. They've kind of gone under the radar with signings. They're keeping their best players is kind of probably what's the most noticeable thing that they've done in the transfer window. They've got Calvin Bassey, they've got Muniz, they've got Jimenez, Harry Wilson as well. I don't think it'll be anything too different from last season, but I think some of the teams that I'm going to put above them obviously did quite bad last season, and I think that the signings they have made is going to push them above Fulham, which knocks them down a little bit. So I've got Fulham in 12th place. In 11th place, I've got the Europa League now team, Nottingham Forest. I mean, Crystal Palace getting demoted into the Conference League. And that was one thing I forgot to say about Palace. They've got Conference League. They're going to be travelling all around and everywhere possible. So, yeah, I think Nottingham Forest, they've got Europe. They've got a hell of a lot of good players. They kept Gibbs White. They've got that striker from Botafogo, Igor Jesus or something like that. I think Nottingham Forest are going to have a drop off. I think last season was a hell of a leap for them, and I think they could go very far in the Europa League. I think they might even prioritise European football over league football. So for that reason, I've got Nottingham Forest in 11th place. In 10th place, and another team that I think will have a drop-off, is Aston Villa. I mean, they've got Ollie Watkins and he's in his prime, but they haven't made really any signings. They haven't done barely anything in the transfer window. I know there is still time, and if they get some absolute marquee signings in the next couple of weeks, then my prediction could change to get Villa into the top 6. But not much is convincing me with Villa. Not many signings, not many outgoings really. I mean, what I have just seen this morning is that Jacob Ramsey is almost here we go to Newcastle. He's a key player. I mean, he got Morgan Rogers. You've got Ollie Watkins, like I said, the back line, Pau Torres, Ezri Konsa. Aston Villa aren't going to be the powerhouse kind of thing that they have been recently. I think they'll drop down, and the teams, like I've said, that I'm going to put above them, I think they're going to do better this season. Again, drops Villa down a little bit, and because they've made no signings, I've got Villa in 10th place. In 9th place, I have Brighton. I mean, a lot of people are putting them as the surprise package, but they could lose Belieber. They've obviously lost João Pedro. Danny Welbeck up top. I don't really see anything too amazing from Brighton. I mean, they're a brilliant footballing team, but the consistency last season from Hersler. I mean, he's a young manager. He's the youngest manager in the Premier League at the moment. The consistency just isn't there with their results. They're just fluctuating a little bit. So that's the reason why I haven't put them any higher. They haven't done too much business in the transfer window. They get very good attendances. They've got the money, and I'm sure they'll spend more after today and further on in the transfer window. But for me, I've got Brighton in 9th place. So I think, if I'm correct in saying 8th place will get Conference League football, I might be completely wrong. It might depend on who wins the FA Cup and who wins the Carabao Cup and all these type of things. But you'll notice that I haven't said them yet, and now I am. 8th place, Everton. Everton have had an absolutely unreal transfer window. Dewsbury Hall and Jack Grealish. Dewsbury Hall, that was an absolute steal from Chelsea. I think it was for £30 million. And Dewsbury Hall, he didn't get the game time he wanted at Chelsea, but he was loved by the fans, and he did really, really well in their Conference League triumph. I think he's an absolute wonderful signing for Everton. I don't know how any other club hasn't gone and picked him up. I rate him really highly. The new stadium is going to have a big factor in it. That's more money, lots more fans. The stadium looks beautiful, by the way, may I just say. And yeah, Jack Grealish on loan from Manchester City. I really think, when you just look at a loan player, it's like when Jadon Sancho went back to Dortmund on loan, he did fairly decent there. You look at a player that is kind of, in that period of their career where they're not doing as well as they have done, and I think Jack Grealish will get back on track. I mean, he chose number 18 because of Rooney and Gascoigne. He knows a lot about Everton, and he will really want to impress and show that he can still be that Jack Grealish that he was at Villa. I mean, he hasn't got past, I think it was his 18 goal attributes or contribution, that he did in his last season at Villa. But Everton, I think, have a real good chance, and especially in the first, not first, but in a full season under David Moyes, I think Everton will have an absolutely amazing season, and depending on how results go on through the season, I think they could possibly get Europe. I've got them in 8th place. In 7th place, I've got Newcastle United. I mean, they've lost out on almost getting so many signings. They could lose Isak. I think they will lose Isak to Liverpool. That transfer saga is absolutely mental, by the way. He's adamant he's not going to play for Newcastle again. But they didn't get Mbeumo. They didn't get Sesko. They were in for Morgan Gibbs-White, and even though they don't really need him, their midfield is good. Joe Linton, Tonali, but you got Jacob Murphy on the right hand side. I mean, he was good last season. I absolutely love him as a player. Anthony Gordon, but yeah, I mean, Anthony Elanga is really their only proper signing that has been of any noise or anything. I think Newcastle are going to have a real drop off, and yeah, I know they've just signed a defender. Is his name Thor? Thaw, something like that. But yeah, I think Newcastle are going to have a real big drop off, and they've got Champions League football that they might struggle in this season. So I've got Newcastle in 7th place. In 6th place, surprise package, I'd say, Manchester United. I mean, it's pretty simple. I don't have to touch on them too much. I mean, I know they're nowhere near any of the teams that they want to be near, but they have made some absolutely amazing signings. They've got Sesko and Mbeumo, Cunha. I mean, I know they're adding lots to their forward line. They've still got problems in defence. They've still got problems in midfield. The only one that I can see in midfield that is of any use is Bruno. And, well, technically Cunha if you class him as an attacker or a midfielder. But, yeah, their business has been really good. I think in Amorim's first proper season, they will do better than they did last season, miles better. No European football to distract them. So I've got Manchester United in 6th place. In 5th place, I've also got Spurs, who had an absolutely horrid season last season, bar from the Europa League triumph. I mean, they could be getting Savinho. They've got Kudus. I think they could be, if they want, they could get Eze. Obviously, Solanke up top. The only reason that I haven't put them any higher is because, one, the teams that are above them are absolutely stacked. They're basically in a different league. But they've lost James Maddison. They've got Danzo on a permanent. Romero is now captain. That got announced this morning. Yeah. I think Tottenham are going to have a really good season for the standards from last season. I think they'll do really well in the Champions League. I think they could get quite far because European football. I mean, they've got Thomas Frank. It's his first season. He's going straight into Champions League football, and I think it's a moment he'll relish in. But yeah, the signings from Spurs have been absolutely unreal. So I've got them in a Europa League spot. Well, it depends. It's either Europa League or Champions League. I don't really know at this moment in time. But if we're going off basic table, Spurs in the Europa League spot in 5th. In 4th place, I've got the Club World Cup winners and the Conference League winners, Chelsea. I mean, the business is unreal, but you just expect that from Chelsea. You've got Delap, you've got João Pedro. They did absolutely unreal. I mean, you've got Cole Palmer. There's just so many good signings at Chelsea. There's too many to list off, if that makes sense. I mean, Esteban, he scored in his first game for the club. He's going to be really good. But I mean, they've lost Madueke, but they aren't going to be too worried about that. They've lost him to Arsenal, but is their race really with Arsenal? Are they looking for the title this season? I don't think so. I think, yet again, it's a Champions League spot for Chelsea. They'll finish in 4th place. In 3rd, I've got Manchester City. I think it will be a much better season than it was last season, although I think they did finish 3rd. But it'll be a much better season. They'll be closer towards the top 2. I mean, Savinho could be out. He could be out of the door. They've got Reinders. They've got Cherky. They're making decent signings. They're doing the rebuild like Pep's always wanted to do since the beginning of last season. I think Pep's got the players he wants, I don't think it's a charge for the title, but I know a lot of people are saying they could be champions, but I think the gap between the two teams above is just that little gap, but it is a significant gap. I think Manchester City going to finish in third place. So down to the top two, as you can tell, it's Arsenal and Liverpool, as it was for last season. I mean, the signings from both sides. I mean, you look, Arsenal have got Gyökeres, they've got Madueke, they've got Norgard, they've got Zubimendi, Kepa, they've got Raya in goal. Centre backs you don't have to worry about with Gabriel and Saliba. You've got Timber. There's so many good players in that Arsenal team. With Liverpool, probably one of the best transfer windows of all time. And you've got Kirkes, you've got Frimpong, you've got Mamardashvili, you've got, who else have you got? You've got Wirtz, how have I missed that one? And you've got Hugo Ekitike. You've basically got Isak. If Liverpool get Isak, I think they'll win the league, and I think they will get Isak. But because Arsenal have got Gyökeres, it's difficult. It's difficult. I mean, Isak, he will sign, he will, but then there's also the error of like uncertainty of will Newcastle actually let him go? Will they just let him run his contract down and not play for Newcastle? I doubt it. They'll want a fee for him, even though he's still got, I think, 3 years left on his contract. But my title winners are Arsenal. Gyökeres. I mean, everybody's always saying all they need is a striker to win the league. They've got their striker now, Victor Gyökeres. What was it? Was it almost 50? I think it was 50 goal contributions last season. Champions League, Sporting. Yeah, he's a proper top tier striker, and I'm glad they got Gyökeres over Sesko. I think they're two different levels at the moment. I mean, Sesko could end up jumping above where Gyökeres is, but Gyökeres is in his prime right now. He's proper on it, and I think that'll clinch the title for Arsenal. The only reason I don't say that Liverpool have got it is because it's going to be really close. It might also be one of the best title races of all time. But Wirtz will need to settle in. Frimpong, decent player, but will he live to the heights at Liverpool as what he did at Leverkusen? Not in his first season. I mean, the defence against Crystal Palace in the Community Shield, Van Dijk didn't look up to his top quality. Kirkes, I mean, yes, he had to drag into a back three, so it means where he normally is in that left back role, that they're going to get more attack down there. But the goals that they conceded that came from that position, it's not Kirkes' fault. It's the whole defence's fault as a whole. But yeah, I don't see Liverpool being champions only based off the fact of if they don't get Guehi, their defence is a little bit like they don't have the depth. Champions League, I think Liverpool are going to walk the Champions League. I really do. I think they'll win the Champions League by some margin, and it'll be probably a really easy run for them. But the league, I think they'll focus on winning the Champions League more than the Premier League, which is why I think they've brought so many signings in. But yeah, my title winners are Arsenal, based off of Saka, Madueke, Gyökeres, Norgard, Zubimendi. Brilliant transfer window for the Gunners. So title winners, I've got Arsenal. Champions League winners, I have got Liverpool. I think Europa League, I mean, could Forest do it? I don't think so. I think someone from a different league will win the Europa League this season. I don't think it's going to be an English team. FA Cup, I think it could be Everton. I'm going to put it out there and say FA Cup, Everton are going to win it. Carabao Cup, Manchester City, and relegated sides, you've got Burnley, Brentford and Leeds. So that is my Premier League predictions for the 25-26 season. Thank you all for watching, and yeah, cheers.